Welcome back to Mac Talks. Football and match day 5 of Bundesliga is going to be played this weekend, and I'm going to go ahead and make my predictions for match day 5 in this video. Last weekend there was quite a few surprising and shocking results in Bundesliga, and we can expect a couple of interesting games this weekend as well. So let's go ahead and start making our predictions. The game is quite simple. The points game, it's 3 points if my entire prediction is right, and 2 points if my prediction is right but the score is not correct. I'm gonna calculate all of these points, and we're gonna see at the end of the weekend how many points I have been able to make for this weekend, and we are calculating for every weekend, and we're gonna see at the end of the season how good I was throughout the season. I have been hit and miss in Bundesliga till this time. Like the first week was quite good, then the second and third week were not really that good. In the fourth week, last weekend, it was quite good as well. So we're gonna continue this weekend as well. We're gonna see how many points I can make. So let's go ahead and start making our predictions. The first game is Borussia Dortmund versus Bochum, and I mean, what a bad day it was for Borussia Dortmund last weekend, losing 5-0 against Stuttgart. Nobody really expected. I thought that was going to be a really good and fun game to watch, exciting game of football. I went for a draw. I thought Dortmund were going to draw points, but I thought it would be a draw, and both teams, like I expected an open game, because both teams like to play attacking football, and both teams like to go ahead and try to score goals, and that's why I went for like a draw, a high scoring draw. That was my prediction. But Dortmund were like steamrolled by Stuttgart. They were never really in that game, and Stuttgart was really good, and Dortmund were really bad in that game. They are playing against Bochum aside this weekend, who got their first point last weekend. They played out a 2-2 draw against a team that both of they were undefeated, winless in the first 3 games, and they finally got their their first point of Bundesliga last weekend. So it was very important for them. They played a draw against Holstein, who themselves were winless. So both of these teams got their first points last weekend. It was important for them to finally get off the mark. They are gonna play a Dortmund side who are really hurt at the moment. Like there is going to be anger, there's going to be frustration amongst the fans, and I think this is the best time. This is the best opportunity for Dortmund to give the fans something back. And I think that they have got one of the easiest fixes that they could have hoped for after that thrashing by Stuttgart, and I think they are gonna get let out all their frustrations out on Bochum in this game. I think Bochum are gonna suffer a defeat, and I think it's going to be a big defeat as well. I'm going for a 4-0 thumping by Borussia Dortmund in this game. 4-0 to Borussia Dortmund. The next game, it's Mainz versus Heidenheim. Mainz finally got their first win of the season last weekend. The next game is Mainz versus Heidenheim. It's 9th versus 10th. Mainz finally got their first win of the season last weekend when they defeated Augsburg 3-2. It was quite a close game. It ended up being a close game. I really did not expect that to be a close game, but it was a good game of football. Mainz have been really good, but they have not been able to get the results. 2 draws, which I think at least one of them should have been. I mean, they have not been able to get over the line, and they almost suffered the same fate last weekend as well, but they were able to get that first win. They are playing against the Heidenheim side who started the season very good. The first 2 games, after the first 2 games, they were top of the table, winning those first 2 games, and they were looking really good. The next 2 games they have lost both of them, and they have from first, now they are currently at a 9th position. So it is it's going to be quite an interesting game, because as I said, Heidenheim have lost their last 2 games. The Mainz they got their first win last weekend. So it is you don't really from Mainz, to be very honest, you don't really expect which type of performance they are gonna give. Heidenheim, they are going, their confidence is gonna be quite low at the moment after for losing the last 2 games. They got it was quite a one-sided defeat for them against Freiburg. They lost at 3-0, so they were never really in that game. So they are and then previously also they lost to Dortmund as a 4-2 as well. So they have suffered quite a big 2 defeats so they are going to come in this game with their confidence quite low. I think Mainz, even though they have won their last game, I still don't think they are going to be able to get the 3 points in this game. I'm going for a draw. I'm going for a score though. I think there are going to be goals in this game. I think it will be quite a fun game. I'm going for a 2-2 draw between Mainz and Heidenheim. Moving on to the next game, it's Wolfsburg versus Stuttgart. It's 13th versus 7th. And now Wolfsburg, they would be really disappointed. They have till now only won one game, but they have been in two quite close games. Even last weekend they played such a good game of football against Leverkusen and they lost it in the 93rd minute. So that's really gotta hurt them. I don't think that their points and the position at the table actually reflects the way that they are playing. I think they have been very unlucky with the games. Like, they have played really good football, but they have lost or drawn and they have lost points like in the last moments of the game. So I think that's something they really need to work out on. Otherwise, in my opinion, I think they should have been in the top 4 or top 5 with the way that they have played. They've just not been able to finish out the games, and I think that could really hurt them if it continues. It's already 4 games, and as I say, the pattern is slowly starting to build where the teams are gonna finish. So they really need to get those wins and don't get far away from that top pack if they really want to get into those European places. They are playing against a Stuttgart side who were really good against Dortmund. I said in the for the Dortmund game, like, I expected a good game of football in that game. I thought it would be quite a close game, but Stuttgart were really good. They were relentless in that game. Like, they thrashed Dortmund 5-1. So they are coming in this game with a big aura, and the confidence is going to be really high in the Stuttgart camp. I think they are going to really go ahead and they are going to have a go at Wolfsburg again. I'm again expecting a high scoring game from these two. Like, this could easily turn out to be another close game, and one team might win it. It could be a high scoring draw as well. But the way that Stuttgart played last weekend and the luck that Wolfsburg are having, I just think Stuttgart are gonna win it. It could easily be a draw. It could easily be a 3-2 win for Stuttgart as well. But I'm gonna go for a 3-1 win. I think Stuttgart are not gonna concede that much. I think they might concede 1 goal, but I don't think they are gonna concede more than that. So I'm going for a 3-1 win for Stuttgart. The next game is Freiburg versus St. Pauli. It's 3rd versus 17th. Freiburg have had a really good start to the season. The only team the only game that they have lost is against Bayern Munich. So you can say like that can be forgotten about. Apart from that, they have been really good. They defeated Heidenheim 3-0 last weekend, and they are really looking good at this season. I think they are going to have a good season. I predicted them to have a good season in my prediction video as well. And the way they have started, I think they are like the expectations are to qualify for the European places. So I think they are gonna meet those expectations with the way they are playing. They are playing against St. Pauli, who I think were really good against RB Leipzig. I think RB Leipzig are gonna be really mad at themselves that they were not able to get a win against St. Pauli, because before that game St. Pauli had lost all 3 games, and like that was their first point in Bundesliga this season. So St. Pauli, they would be really happy. They would be really pleased with the performance that they gave against RB Leipzig. Not because it was basically a one-way traffic throughout the game. They had to defend for full 90 minutes, and they defended really well. And they made sure that they did not concede in that game, and they got the I think that they deserve to get a point out of that game, and they got the point as well, and that was their first point. But unfortunately, I personally think they are going to go back to losing aways this weekend. They are going away to Freiburg. With the way the form that Freiburg are in and the way they are playing, I just don't see any other result apart from Freiburg winning it, and I think they are going to win it convincingly as well. I'm going for another 4-0 thumping this weekend. I think Freiburg win it quite convincingly, 4-0 win for the home side. The next game is RB Leipzig versus Augsburg, and now RB Leipzig are currently 5th in the table, and Augsburg are like 12th or 13th if I'm not wrong. Leipzig had a great start to the season. They won their first 2 games, including that historic win against Leverkusen, becoming the first team to defeat Leverkusen after almost more than a year in Bundesliga. But since coming back to from the international break, they have played a couple of draws against Union Berlin and then last weekend against St. Pauli, which I think would really in a way like pissed off the fans, pissed off the manager as well. Like that game was there for the taking. Everybody expected them to get 3 points out of it, and they would be really mad that they did not, and disappointed that they did not get the win in that game. They are one of the 3 teams who are still undefeated in the league, so they would want that to continue and they would want to get 3 points in this game. They are playing in Augsburg side, who really have not had a good start to the season. They, as I say, they are like 13th or 12th, 13th, 14th, like that. I cannot really remember at the moment. But their game, their start had not really been that good. They have only won against one team, that was St. Pauli. They lost last week to Mainz as well, a 3-2 win. That was a good game of football, but they were not able to hold on and they lost that game. I think I think they are going to suffer the same fate this weekend. I think Leipzig are at home, and the way that their fans are going to be there, they're going to expect a sort of something, a response after last week's performance. As I said, they have played consecutively 2 draws. They need to win a game to make sure they stay within touching distance of of other teams at the tops, and they're going to make sure that it happens in this game. And they have an easy opponent, to be very honest with you. They had the easiest opponents last weekend, but they were not able to break them down, so they will make sure that it happens this weekend. I think they will be able to do it, so I'm going for I think it will be a close game. I'm not going to just say that RB Leipzig are going to win it quite convincingly, because Augsburg, they are playing good. The last couple of weeks, their performances are there. The results might not be there, but the performances are there, and I think it is going to continue. It will be a close game. I'm going for a 2-1 win for the home side. RB Leipzig win it a 2-1. The next game is Mönchengladbach versus Union Berlin. It's 14th versus 6th at the moment, and like Mönchengladbach, they have just won once and they have lost 3 games. But to be very honest with you, I just think they have been really unlucky. The way they are playing, their performances have been really good, but they are not able to turn those performances into results. I think that is something that the manager really needs to work on at the moment. Otherwise, apart from that, as I said, their performances have been really good. They lost last week against Frankfurt as well, 2-0, quite convincing win. I think they need to do something quite quickly. Otherwise, the gap is already starting to come up between them and the other teams. I sort of predicted them to have a good season. I think they have a really good enough score to try to fight for those European places, but they need to get the results. Otherwise, it is going to be a long, hard season, and it's going to be another mid-table finish for them. They need to do something quite quickly. They are playing against a UB side who won last weekend against Hoffenheim 2-1. They are one of the 3 teams along with RB Leipzig and Bayern Munich who are still undefeated. So they have a really good start to the season till now. And unfortunately for Gladbach, I think that is gonna continue. And this is one of the games which could go either way, to be very honest with you. Like I personally would want Gladbach to win, because I sort of have I love sort of soft spot for them in my heart. That is why I think this is my prediction based on just purely on my emotions. But I still think that this is going to be a close game, and it could go either way. UB could win quite convincingly, quite easily. It could be a draw as well, but I am going for a home win. I think Gladbach get their 2nd win of the season, and UB's undefeated run in the league is going to come to an end. I'm going for a close game. I think it's going to be a very close game. It's going to be a tight game. I'm going for a 2-1 win for Mönchengladbach in this game. The next game, it's the big one. It is Bayern Munich versus Bayer Leverkusen, the current champions and the champions for the last number of years. Currently 1 and 2 at the moment in the league. So it is like the biggest game in Bundesliga this weekend, and basically for the year as well. I think both of these teams are gonna challenge for the title yet again. So it is quite a big game. Bayern Munich are undefeated. Leverkusen have lost 1 game already. Their undefeated streak is already over. So it is going to be quite a big game. Bayern Bayern Munich, they started very slow the season, but the last 1 week they have been really good. They have scored almost like what 16 goals, 17 goals in 3 games, and they've just conceded 2 goals in response. So they are really on a hot form as well. They defeated Bremen 5-0. Like, that was a thrashing. I really did not see that coming. I think nobody expected that to happen, but they really were like, they were amazing in that game. Leverkusen won 4-3 as well. So like, both of these teams are coming with high scoring games. You expect goals in this game. I think it's going to be really close. I think it's going to be feisty. I think it's going to be like this. There's sort of a little animosity starting to come between these two teams, because the way that Leverkusen won the league last year and they stopped Bayern's historic run, and so the fans are really going to be up for it. And Leverkusen are away, Bayern Munich are going to be home. It's it's the first big test for Vincent Kompany, how he's gonna react to it. Like, it's like the playing days as well. Xabi Alonso, Real Madrid, Manchester City, that rivalry as well is gonna be there. So it's gonna be quite a big game, quite a fun game. I'm like, no way I'm gonna miss that game. It'll be quite a fun game to watch as well. And I think this, the way that it all is shaping up, or like all of it is going, I think it's going to be quite a fun game to watch. But I don't think either of them is gonna win it. I think it will be a high scoring game. I expect both of them to score goals, and I expect both of them to concede as well. I'm going for a high scoring 2-all draw between Bayern Munich and Bayer Leverkusen. So yeah, that is it. This is my prediction. I don't see either of them winning. I think Leverkusen would be able to stop Bayern Munich's 100% record, and I think, but they will not be able to defeat them. And Bayern Munich, unfortunately, I don't think they are going to win this game. I'm going for a 2-all draw in this in the big game. The next game is Holstein Kiel versus Frankfurt. Holstein Kiel finally got their first point last weekend against Bochum. They played out a 2-all draw, so that was their first point. Before that, they had lost 3 games. They would be really happy that they're finally off the market in Bundesliga, and they would want to continue that and maybe try to get more points instead of a draw. Try to get a win and try to get out of that relegation zone which they are in currently. But I think it's going to be really tough for them. They are playing a Frankfurt side who are really good at the moment, fourth in the Bundesliga at the moment. They defeated Gladbach 2-0 last weekend, and they are looking really good, and I think their good form is gonna continue. And unfortunately for Holstein Kiel, they are gonna go back to losing ways. I don't see any other result apart from an away side victory, so I'm going for a comfortable 2-0 win for Frankfurt. And the last game of this weekend is Hoffenheim versus Werder Bremen. It's 15th versus 11th, and now Hoffenheim, they have been this season has been a hit and miss at the moment. They lost last weekend to Union Berlin 2-1. It was quite a close game. I really did not expect that to happen, but they were really good in that game, but they were not able to get anything out of it, and I think they would be really disappointed. They are home this weekend, and they would want to get something out of this game, their game against Bremen, who are coming out from a 5-0 thumping against Bayern Munich. I think nobody expected that to happen. They were at home as well, so their confidence gonna be like quite low coming into this game, and I think this is the best opportunity for Hoffenheim to try and get something out of this game. They would hope that they can get all the 3 points, but I just don't see that happening. The form that Hoffenheim are in, I just don't see them winning against Bremen, even though they lost against Bayern Munich and they lost really badly. They just have good enough players that can carry on, and they can get the job done quite easily. They could quite easily come in and they can win the game convincingly, but just because of the way they have played last weekend, and they are away as well, I am going for a draw. I think it will be a low scoring game. I am going for a 1-all draw between Hoffenheim and Werder Bremen. And with that, my predictions for Bundesliga match week game week 5 is done. And that is it. We're going to see how many of my predictions come true at the end of the weekend, and how many points I've been able to make at the end of the weekend. We are going to review that, of course, when the games are finished. So yeah, let me know what you guys think of my predictions in the comment section below. You guys can play with me as well. Make your predictions in the comment section, and we can see who gets more points, you guys or I get more points. Let me know in the comment section below what you guys think of my predictions and what your predictions are. like the video, share it as well, click on the notification bell, and of course subscribe to the channel. We are trying to get to 300 subscribers before the month of September ends. It's looking really hard at the moment. 80 plus subscribers to get, just 4 days remaining, so it's like 20 subscribers per day, so it's a big task, but let's hope somehow we are able to manage, we are able to achieve it. Until next time, bye bye.